After weeks of speculation about his future, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine announces he will seek a third term in office. Kaine made it official following a roundtable discussion this morning in Richmond. The Democrat touted accomplishments like lowering prescription drug prices, saving the Affordable Care Act, and improving Amtrak service to Richmond and Roanoke. Kaine says priorities include affordable housing, workforce development, and immigration reform.
I'm just proud of what we've done, but man, I got more I want to do. You know, I got to be honest and look in the mirror and say, you know, have I done everything I wanted to get done? And the answer is I haven't.
While Republicans are lining up to run for that seat as well, the state party's chairman says Chuck Smith, Jonathan Amord, and Eddie Garcia, all attorneys by profession, are interested. State Republicans will have to decide if they'll hold a state-run primary or a party-run convention ahead of the election.
Well, I think the overall strategy right now is one needs to turn their gaze to Richmond and how Republicans are governing there with the election of Governor Youngkin, Lieutenant Governor Sears, and Attorney General Miyares, and flipping the House of Delegates to Republican control.
The Senate seat is up for election in November of 2024.